Hey coaches, Coach Simpson here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on this channel, I also have a website with a lot more in-depth information available at fbcoachsimpson.com, as well as several courses on CoachTube. You can find a lot of stuff there as well. This week's theme, I wanted to go through attacking the 3-4. Before I go through this, I'm going to apologize for my allergies are really bad. I also want to kind of let you know I run the 3-4 defense. So I believe this is a good defensive system. So I don't want somebody to watch this video and say that I don't think the 3-4 is a good system. It's a great defensive system. Just like offensive systems can be good, even if they're not the best on the planet. They can still be pretty good. So I want to kind of get that out there on the table. Any defense, there's a place to attack. And that's the way football works. It's whoever holds the marker last usually is going to win, especially in the YouTube world, the Twitter world, even the CoachTube world. But the reality is, we're going to have to make constant adjustments on both sides of the ball. So that's my disclaimer, okay? So this week I'm going to talk about different ways you can try to attack the 3-4. I will be using my offense as kind of a example, but you don't have to run this type of offense. The premises still would stay the same. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, we're going to talk about that here in a minute, is attack conflict players. You need to identify what players are conflict players inside of the 3-4. Okay. Later on this week, I'm going to go through run at speed. What does that mean? We'll kind of get into that. Formations, some different ideas on formations that typically give a lot of 3-4 teams issues, and I know that because I run a 3-4. RPO game, how are you going to run the RPO game versus a 3-4? We'll deal with that later this week as well. And then, are all things equal? That should be things, not thing. All things equal. Basically, when you're attacking a 3-4, it's built to be, basically even on both sides. Is it? And if it's not, how can you expose it? We'll kind of get into that a little bit later on. So today we're going to talk about identifying conflict players in a 3-4 defense. Recognize that in any defense, there are usually going to be conflict players. The only way you would possibly get out of that would be a team that might play man zero. Playing man zero, there still are conflict players as far as in the run game, but if you're in man zero, there are not very many conflict players as far as run and pass. So I'm not talking about those guys right now, although I think you can still exploit those guys in the run game that are asked to do two different things. So to me, the definition of a conflict player is a guy on the defense that they said you have to do X and you have to do Y. That makes him a conflict player. A good offensive coordinator, hopefully, will expose that. We'll find that guy and we'll force him to be wrong. We're going to make him choose, and then we're going to play off of that. In a 3-4 defense, generally, and again, I'm using my offense as kind of an example, but let's just kind of go this direction first. This is kind of a spreadish look, two receivers with a tackle to a center. So this right here is pretty much what a spread offense would look like. And then this right here is more of that wing 21 look that I love. That's why I like to run when I run, because you get the best of both worlds, I believe. But let's go this direction. So if you're looking over here, who are the conflict players? Who are the guys who want to attack? Okay, well, more than likely, this player right here is a conflict player. Okay, because they're going to ask him to set an edge. He's going to be a force player in a 3-4, more than likely. Okay, he's also going to be asked either to high wall if they're running 2 read, go to the flats, buzz the flats, they're running 4, they're running 3. So they're asking him to do two things. They're asking him to play the run. They're also asking him to play the pass. Makes him a conflict player, okay? We got to identify this tackle. Are they trying to 2-gap him, or is he slanting? If he's slanting inside the B gap, we can RPO, we can RRO him, we can read him, run, read him, okay? Whatever we're asking him to do. Are they asking their safety to come fit at that alley, as well as cover deep? Can make him a conflict player. And then, of course, everyone runs different things, beat different coverages. We're going to basically run a high-low concept on this corner. We're going to make him a conflict player. We're going to run a route in front of him and run a route behind him. Forces him to be a conflict player. So any of those guys can become a conflict player depending on the call of the defense and who you're trying to attack. All right, let's flip over here, kind of get out of the spread world into the wing T-ish, 21 personnel, whatever you want to call it, power football world. Do we have any conflict players here? Probably yes. More than likely, these guys are probably being asked to plug gaps and to force and do different things. They're probably not asking that outside backer to play force, okay? They are probably asking this strong safety to do, probably cover the flats in this look. It looks like a roll down cover 2. Cover the flats and set an edge, okay? And then they're gonna ask this corner more than likely in this look to be covering the deep half. Run an alley, and then you can do different things with your routes to kind of take advantage of him. Run a guy deep here and a guy deep here and make him pick, make him be wrong. So that makes these two guys really your conflict players. If you're identifying it, that's how you identify a conflict player, a guy that the defense has given a few different things to do. Usually that's going to be a run and a pass fit. That's the most obvious conflict you can have. But it could be a player who's strictly run, like this 4 technique over here. Is he going to play B gap? If he is, we're going to read him and pull it. Is he going to sit and squat? Well, then we're going to be able to exploit it because he's not feeling like he's supposed to. It could be a coverage guy. Is he covering deep? Okay, well, we're going to run guys and either high-low him or we're going to spread him out and we're going to make him wrong. That's the definition of a conflict player. If you're calling an offense, that's the entire goal. Because I've got an entire course over conflict players, over attacking the 3-4. It's on CoachTube. You can go there if you'd like to. Got other materials on my website that go a lot more in depth than this. It shows some game film. I actually kind of break down how we attacked a 3-4 team at one of our playoff games a couple years ago. And you can go back and find some information on that if you'd like to. Or just email me, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment here and I'll try to get back to it as quickly as I can. Thank you for your time. Be sure to pay attention the rest of the week as we kind of go through these other attacking the 3-4 concepts.